I think you're fourth again. You beat me though this time.
Of course I did.
Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to round number 2 of our 6th Newcomers Tournament. We're here with Craftword, Dryad, Destructoid, and Corbeau. And I'm Blues with DT.
With me, and whoever found Nomad again is going to win the game.
Maybe, but we have a lot of high price this time. Steel, again, being double priced, this time with iron half price. There's a chance for something to happen with that.
Yeah, but there's a glass colony and there's not much glass around the map.
But glass is starting half price, so it's not that big a deal. You could fit in a good scientist this time with iron and water. I guess aluminum is miles away and aluminum is double price. So that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Oh, we just found a lead. On the west-southwest side, take that silicon so that no one can find Nomad. And lose the game.
On this patch, yes. But Nomad definitely is tempting, it's just hard to fit in. That's probably the best Nomad found you can have, which is still kind of awkward.
Okay, wait. There's also a northwest, that's a robotic spot. Oh, never mind, there was a robotic spot.
I don't quite understand that as a second Nomad location. I probably would have found it just next to some aluminum. I know you're close to aluminum here.
It's fine. He's probably blocking it so that no one else can find.
I guess. At this point, Dryad again founding away from iron is going to maybe have some problems.
And he's getting aluminum again.
He has bought up iron. I mean, aluminum's double priced. Makes some sense.
Okay.
And some of that iron might have been blocked off. Corbeau is going to have some problems here, though. He doesn't have iron. He does not have an iron stockpile. He's collecting a ton of aluminum, only has one steel mill. I'm very nervous about that. Now he's buying up iron, which is good, but still only has one steel mill. Craftword going for triple steel right off the bat, without iron, even though he has access to iron.
Anybody claimant went for aluminum.
Yeah, I mean, normally with the starting prices as 10, 120 for iron steel, triple steel is nice, but when two opponents have already skipped iron and moved into the steel and bought up the iron, this isn't going to work out nicely. He might still make it to HQ2, but he's going to need to transition out of some of the steel into iron anyway. So it would have been nice to have the iron down in the first place.
Yeah, he's
now he's making the transition.
The black market is open for
probably nice if someone found it on top of aluminum, so they already got to aluminum.
Ooh, Destructoid building electronics factory on HQ1.
And it's off.
Yeah. You don't want single buildings like that, ever.
Maybe there's going to be a claim auction, and he knows it.
Maybe. He already did buy one extra claim, and that's a good part of why he's not HQ2 yet. Because realistically, as this Nomad, he should have been HQ2 a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem of not collecting aluminum right away, as well. When aluminum's starting expensive, that's just really important for you as Nomad, because you can't buy anything besides your electronics as Nomad.
I see that everyone is making makes an HQ level.
This is interesting. Corbeau moved out of the steel, which makes sense, he has no iron, and moving into power. Power is already quite high, you have 2 steel users, that could be nice. Would like to see a goon squad protected, because there are circuit overloads in particular.
Yeah. And don't bid on this, please. It's like suiciding if you do that now.
Yeah, he isn't bidding on it, which is great.
Oh, he was 1 second. Like 1. Okay. You see? Oh no. I was going to say the Nomad is going to bid to have like 2 electronics, but...
He does have 2 electronics now. But we already see the second Nomad HQ just not getting much of anything done. He really should not be grabbing this iron. I mean, it makes decent money right now, but If your opponents are having such big problems with iron, you don't want to help them with that. And you can pretty easily make more money doing something like food in particular.
If you look at Offworld, he's in food, he's in a nice position, and he also stolen the water pumps.
Yeah, the
from
thing I'm most
destruct.
concerned about is just his steel is going to be a problem, and he's auto-selling iron, so it would have been much better to build up the stockpile of iron and then move into the steel mill again. But that's okay. He still has pretty nice territory. Corbeau
fine.
was making power money, but now it's nighttime. He should be making power money again when it comes day. Still really should get a goon down. Destructoid apparently wants to help out Corbeau by doing that. Thing is, you have to be careful about overloads in particular, because power can be so strong. You don't want to be doing overloads unless you have power of your own in a surplus. I guess Craftwood has plus 0.35, that's not really enough when Corbeau has these two panels just churning away. I guess he is a bit behind, so maybe people don't care.
Okay, now he's making power again, so... I don't know, I don't like solar panels, just go for wind turbines much
Yeah,
better.
solar panels are definitely hard to make work. With the placement of his claims in particular, these were the steel mills. They wouldn't have been effective wind, so they had to be solar, and I guess solar was probably much cheaper. But if he had positioned his steel differently, he could have had the option of going into the wind.
The black market
That's
is
something to
open for
always
business.
keep in mind when you're placing your claims. It's definitely
HQ has been upgraded.
hard to think about, but just
Why can I not see
Concerned
how
about nosy
strong
neighbors? This hologram
wind
can
is
help
on this
preserve your
map as
privacy.
observer? Doesn't make sense.
yeah, it's always just not ideal. There's no good way to bring up the wind overlay when you're not playing.
Congratulations.
Oh
It's
god.
not that there's no good way, there's no way, period.
Do you see that hologram?
Hmm.
5k. I wish that happened to me.
Corbeau really needed to expand into more power, I think. That is his main way back into this game. Water is doing okay, but
Well, yeah,
like
solar
he has
panel.
800, almost 900 aluminum.
And the game says, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes. It's nice.
I mean, he knew that there was going to be solar flares, so he didn't put power.
Man. Apparently every player is omniscient.
I'm sorry. People need to buy into silicon, it's so cheap.
Yeah, Destructoid has been struggling to get things done this game. This iron claim, these electronics, none of them ever making much money. He's making
Yeah, if you look-
steel.
Less.
I mean, steel is profitable, but again,
Seeing
same.
steel?
Yeah, there's 3 steel mills and a high iron.
Okay, destruct. You never go steel. Almost never go steel as but only when steel is 300 and iron is 30, you go into steel. But
Even then, I'd only do that if like your opponents are HQ 5 and have off-worlds up or something, because otherwise you're just helping them in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. There are
well,
other
it
markets
also
to move
helps
into.
you, but...
I mean, yeah, if it's really $300 and $30, fine, but in a lot of instances, you just never want to do that.
I must say, Corbeau is going for
Oh,
teleportation now.
Craftword doesn't have room for more triangles? I still don't think building the class out here is right. There's no benefit to that. You can easily just snake around these hills. You'll lose a
Why would
little
you
bit of
build it like
adjacency,
that?
but that's much better than having remote glass.
I will have put those glass on top of the hill, above the Mucine's Geo, around there.
That
I mean,
could work.
If you're planting it anyway off base, then why are you planting it next to someone else's base?
Right. Have them remote from everything, have them on top of resources, have them in a place that can't be pirated. One of those options.
I mean, it's fine, unless Yeah, that person that you're building next to is leading, which is still a nomad, so... Yeah.
I mean, still, Craftword is in a very solid position. Lots of cash, solid, safe debt,
Sold.
HQ4. Definitely in the lead.
Ooh, pleasure domes are coming up. This will be probably nice, pretty expensive. That will some nice pleasure domes. Probably buy into Spice by now because it's still 2k. Bonus
The
a lot
black
of money.
market is online.
Right, spies are always just so useful to know where goon squads are in particular with power. Or also just check out patent labs to find hacker arrays, well, there are no holograms this game. But spies are just the best.
Someone has a hologram because of an offshoot.
Oh yeah, that is true. The 5k hologram.
5k.
Okay, Corbeau, you have 1,400 aluminum, and aluminum is shorting.
Now mutiny, that's...
Please sell out of some.
An
Please?
expansive HQ has been upgraded.
No, he's waiting for that shot. Just see.
I mean, the thing is, with a shortage like this, you expect everyone to have some amount. So if they all sell out before you, you're kind of just losing.
He's selling out.
Okay. In this case, it wasn't really a thing because everyone had very small stockpiles.
And he knew that, of course.
Come on. Come on.
I mean, if you look at the map, like, there's one... Dryad has one aluminum, Craftworld has one aluminum.
I guess
Okay,
Destructoid
Corbeau has two.
is also consuming aluminum in his electronics.
Oh, wait, we were talking about Corbeau, right? Yeah.
Oh, Craftword. Don't do 4 glass. The thing is, Craftword doesn't... Oh, he has picked up silicon now. But it's still only a medium. And glass is not going to be strong enough to
Does he have
sustain...
water?
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He stole that triangle next to Destructoid early.
Oh wait, I was looking at the wrong person. Dryad doesn't have water for some reason. Because he has steel up that are turned off on top of water.
Yeah, that is a problem. An easily
And-
fixable problem, though.
True. He's also going into Thinking Machine and
Thinking
looking at
Machines
Offworld.
is going to be
New
solid.
is available for option.
Food
That's
and
expensive.
oxygen.
Also, like a little trick what you can do, like early or mid game, you should buy into chemicals. Because most of the time no one is producing chemicals, but they are
Yeah, that
building
is...
other labs and optimization centers, and they're like consuming chemicals because of that.
Congratulations.
Right, you can pretty consistently expect the chemical price to rise in the mid-game. You just... The only thing about that is you also have to have enough money to invest in that without slowing yourself down too much.
Why are you stealing this?
Yeah, the fight over the Geo has been very strange and constant.
Power is so low.
Expansive HQ
Man,
has been
this game
upgraded.
really likes the solar flares for Corbeau.
Kobo. And he only has 2 solar panels.
Yeah. What?
It's probably a hacker.
Oh, 2 pleasure domes, both gooned, and
Three
a mutinied pleasure dome. That's interesting. See it virtual reality? No, Dryad
No.
picked that up. But yes, if you're gonna put down 2 pleasure domes, you don't really need to goon them, it turns out. Because
I mean,
even-
you kinda do, because otherwise Triad is going to get it, and then he has, like, all the pleasure domes.
I mean, like, if you have 2 and then someone like mutinies one of them,
Oh,
you still don't
so-
really
yeah,
care.
oh, yeah.
I guess if they
Oh,
EMP it, you maybe care a little
The
more.
black market
But
is
that's still a
open
big
for business.
investment, and they're never really going to be all that useful. Especially
EMPs are
later
still-
on.
People should buy more into EMPs. It's 4.5k. Do you know how much that is worth? That's a lot.
Hmm. Well, at this point we see Silicon has gone insane. And Craftword's glass is pretty terrible. Again, Don't commit this many tiles to production you can't sustain, especially away from your base.
Yeah. Because you're also losing money because you need to send that silicon and oxygen to
Yeah,
the
that
lab.
kills your fuel money, although that is remote, so it's just dead, but his dead has gone crazy, even though it was healthy before.
No. Just deleted the
Okay.
class.
Expansive HQ.
Obviously, it's watching the stream.
Anyway, the thing is, it still could have just easily snaked around these hills. Even if you don't want, even if you want to force triangles, you could have 2 optimization centers or something connecting it. It's not a big deal. Don't place remote buildings. Dryad has an off-world building now with thinking machines. That's going to be nice.
It's going to be nice. He needs to buy a mutiny. Just
Yeah.
buy a mutiny, so he's like extra safe.
The goon is definitely going to get popped because of these.
Sold.
Well,
You hope.
it should definitely get popped because of the circuit overloads. Very nice cheap tool that's not going to cause too much damage if it bounces.
Stop auto-selling water, please.
Yeah, auto-selling water made sense when it was $90, but it still didn't make that much sense because that means that other people were driving the water price up.
I mean, if you look at destruction, he doesn't have any. Like, he's -6 water. No, it's like
To be
free water for
fair,
him.
Corbeau also has 5 water tiles down, and I guess Craftwood is also negative.
Yeah, but he's going for Girls Fusion. You see,
What?
Capo is going for Girls Fusion.
Okay.
I don't know.
That makes a bit more sense, but still not a ton. Cold Fusion isn't going to get a lot done. Oh, Craftwood's building a colony off-world. That's going to be nice. It better be Goon, though. It's not. And
Where's
Goons are
the hologram, by the
70k, so
Destructors.
this is risky and not going to pay off. Probably. Maybe. Dryad's going for a second off-world. That's going to be strong. Should not have... And still needs to pick up Mutiny just to be perfectly safe.
And after that, he needs to buy up the EMPs because that's the only thing that can stop him. Not really, but because he has thinking machine, but theory.
I mean, it would still stop all the rest of his production, which is still making solid money. Dryad getting up an optimization center. Very nice
Center is ready.
little compliment to your
Assembled.
off-worlds.
Our fortune awaits.
Was building what?
Hmm?
What did you say?
I was saying Dryad has an optimization center now. And he's upgrading oxygen. All very nice.
I would rather see the optimization since it go first than off-roads.
Off-world shipment.
I don't know,
arrives.
I like
Look at
upgrading
all
stuff
the money.
first.
Oh yeah, optimizations are the best. No matter what you're doing, there's room for optimizations.
No, not always.
No, always.
I've seen games where like on-world prices were like less than $100 and it was like, ugh.
Anyway, Corbeau
New building is available
got
for
nice
auction.
things done with power, but always felt a little lost. He never really had a way to get into iron easily, so he's kind of ignored that and suffered from this high steel price. The
Congratulations.
pleasure domes didn't...
Launch
Oh wow, that
affirmative.
went really
What a
cheap.
payout.
It's like the second auction he gets for free.
Our methods
However,
of
there's
building
spice on the
gold.
market.
Okay, that is Dryad mutinying the offworld. That makes sense. Normally, this is such a strong offworld that mutinying it is great, but in this case, Dryad is so far ahead of everyone that even though this offworld is so nice, you don't necessarily want to attack it.
He's sending the wrongs. Oh, off-world send.
Successful off-world
Yeah,
shipment.
Dryad really should
Successful
just be
for the
chain
province.
sending oxygen at this point.
Off-world shipment arrives. A dirty rat can
Yes,
break our stuff.
oh, that's a dust storm, that's why. I was already thinking, why are the bombs off? It's a dust storm. And he also
Optimization
needs to
center.
upgrade.
Interesting. The optimization center was oxygen food before. I guess he switched the food into water. He was slightly negative on water, so the water does make sense. But I think the food would have been better to go first. Corbeau helping out Dryad is just not good.
Wait 1 second. Did Craftworld ever build anything on top of those glass that he deleted? Because I
Nope.
still see
Still 4 empty
cells.
claims.
Red-handed.
That's like a lot. That's like
Could be food, could be electronics,
it's like 1k per second that you're
What a
not
payout.
earning.
could even be power, really.
The
There are
engineers
so
have
many
advanced on
options.
production.
I mean, there are definitely games where I will have empty claims sitting around because I can't figure out what to put on them because everything's terrible.
Make room for
This
the
is not one of
profits.
those games.
I mean, that's why you found next resources. You just found you could just put those mines or pumps on it.
Yeah, that is good, and you can do that a lot of the time, but you can't always do that.
Well, in this situation, he cannot do it.
Anyways.
Going into, I would go into glass now again.
Let's continue to improve.
Yeah, probably.
We said that you shouldn't do 4 glass, but now it makes sense.
A new claim is available for option.
I mean, if he had that production up, he would be so much closer to buying a tryout.
Right.
Probably
Also,
win the fight.
also
he's now
just
losing.
like having all these chems and stuff down. The chems are great for a while. You don't need 4 chem refineries now. You
So,
could have had other more useful buildings in this area.
Like glass.
Like glass, like maybe an optimization center 2 souls ago. Something like that.
Are you really going to do the black magic tile? Grasswood. That's one chemical.
Yeah.
Even top players
optimization
do that
routine
Would
sometimes.
be good if he was a robot. Anyway, Dryad is nearly at the buy and craft word.
Oh, but look at Kobo. He has a lot of cash.
Kobo does have a lot of cash, which is interesting. Because I was fighting him off before because his territory is super awkward with all these single carbon
And he's not
claims.
playing into himself, which probably makes sense because he needs all the cash to buy into Triad.
Right.
Offworld shipment launched. Look at all the money.
Right, Korbor doesn't have to worry about anyone buying into him
High
right
emphasis
now,
of
unless someone
advanced
wants
filthy
to
bandits.
do something that is ill-advised. So having the extra money just sitting around is a good thing. At this point, since it's a pure off-world game, it can go any way, really.
To be honest, I would just buy into myself and buy the Noah because he has 2 off-round.
That is fair. Structor does have the 2 off-worlds up, so it's not ever going to be all that bad.
Triad is going to buy into him. Okay, no, yeah, you have to buy into Triad.
I have
It's like,
I have a lot of trouble seeing Corbeau catching up to Dryad at this point. But he's made it interesting, more so than I would have guessed. 'Cause again, you never want 3 separate carbon claims like this. You just
he needs to sum some water because he's losing now power money. Because he has Cold
Launch
Fusion and
affirmative.
Right.
What a payout.
it's missing like 1k. Well, no, 1.6k I think.
right. Holding on to the water is mostly only just hurting Destruct. Well, no. Everything's actually positive on water except Craftward. That's interesting.
What would you buy? Would you buy into Triad?
Yes, absolutely. Well, no. I would sit on my money
I mean-
indefinitely. Because I'm
You
not
could have shift by Destructs, and then they would be even.
Yes. I guess Dryad didn't have all that much money, so it wouldn't have been a huge problem to do that. I don't know.
But the thing is, the sub of Triad is not making second over
Successful off-world shipment.
so
Make room for the profits.
because of that, Triad is getting a lot of sub money.
Right. Corbeau is just significantly behind. But
Flashing
Dryad
like
is in a
an
lot of
instrument for
debt.
business. Affirmative.
This debt tick
What a
is going to
payout.
help out Corbeau. So he still has room to make it back into this. This is interesting.
Oh, Kobo should have EMP'd the off-road of Craftsworld to sub. Because
Yeah.
it's next to the colony, it's just making too much money.
Well, 1/10 of the money's going to Corbeau. It's not enough.
Successful off-world shipment.
It's a really great
Make room
offworld.
for the profits.
It's gonna be a close race here.
Yeah, that's only because Triad is in a lot of debt.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going into more depths because he's going into threats. Okay, we should look at off-world timers because that's the thing now.
3 seconds.
I hate those filthy
and
bandits.
25 seconds for that next one.
Okay, next one is not going to it's in time. probably.
Corbeaus are much later than Dryads. But Dryad's next launch isn't going to finish? No, it will finish things
Oh,
off.
don't,
He needs to cancel.
don't finish the launch. Cancel everything, Corbeau. Cancel.
They both need to cancel
Your
stuff.
stock is being sold.
Oh no, Corbeau, you had this.
Look at all the money.
You still have this. Oh.
Holy shit.
But yeah, that was really off the strength of having a billion water pumps. I mean, that was basically what Corbeau did. He made the nice power play early.
He was just lucky that the solar flight happened.
Yes. Oh, he missed it.
Twice.
It wasn't intentional,
Black
so.
market is online.
Yeah, the 2 solar flares definitely helped him along. He did make good use of black market, 7 attacks on Dryad. A lot of them were overloads.
Does he even have iron?
No.
Corbeau?
Corbeau? No,
Wow.
never picked up iron. Did make
Village.
400k on power. Pretty solid.
Could have been more if he sold some water down.
Yeah,
Just saying.
he did pick up superconductor, I didn't notice that. Should have noticed that. That was an important thing.
Oh, he had
Successful off-world
superconductor
shipment
before
payout.
contribution.
Make room for the
What you saw.
profits.
But yeah,
let's go
Dryad,
to
I would have to imagine big negative on power. Only, well, 180k is pretty big. Destructoid, negative 220k on power.
Triad has a lot of those problems, like almost every game I see him playing.
Yeah, he's typically in D-Debt.
Like Game Slayer.
Hey, it works for some people. Destructoid just having some problems due to the early play. HQ1 Electronics just aren't going to make enough money. They were slow. The steel was just a problem. There's not much else to say about that. It was a problem. Needed to claim water somewhere. He had options for water. The second found being there just wasn't the best. It could have been, but it wasn't.
Could have.
But yeah, tried with a very solid thinking machines double off-world thing.
It's like, it's what everyone did in the beta, and he's doing it now.
Yep. But hey, if it works, it works.
Look at the black market, you can see that the favorite target of everyone's except Triad was Triad. What a surprise.
That is good use of black market.
Ooh, I
Targeting.
must also...
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I must
go
also
ahead.
say that he made some cash from plushie domes, but Corbeau also made like 339k from plushie domes.
Yeah,
which is-
the pleasure domes worked out okay for both players. I still feel like the double goon was a serious overcommitment.
It was. And no one takes his power, I believe, right? He was making crazy amount of power money, Corbeau, and no one stopped him. But
To be
overload.
fair, that's also largely because superconductor cold fusion, which is
I mean-
hard to spot. With just the 2 panels, you don't necessarily see, oh, this guy's making crazy amounts of power.
Of course you do. You just click on it. Well, first you look at the battle lab. because you
Yes,
look
DT,
at-
thank you.
I'm giving out tips. I mean, I don't expect them to do it, but I'm just giving. You need to look at the pattern lab
Yes,
list.
yes.
You
Definitely
see
keep
someone
track of
with
that.
no rating, bronze rating, then you know he's making power money. and you're going to figure out how much. No, well, you're going to look at the pattern list. You see, superconductor, solar flare, these solar panels, circuit overload 10k.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Or what might be better is to make sure your own power balance isn't too far negative. And I'm a huge hypocrite for saying this. But yes.
It is.
If you're running a power deficit consistently during the game, someone is making that power money. And you need to be cognizant of that. You need to be ready to move into power yourself as it spikes, or you need to just have the power down. Dryad did have 2 geos, but when you have 2 offworlds and everything up, that's just not enough. He did upgrade power a bit eventually. 3 and up power is actually quite a lot of upgrades, but still.
How much power did he have?
It's plus 7 from the geos.
He only had 1 geo.
2
Not
geos.
2 geos. 2 geo, he always... like, I feel like expensive, you always need 3 geos at least.
Yeah, unless you have like superconductor geo or geo borehole geos and stuff like that. Or if you can get perpetual motion, except you can't on Mars.
Yeah.
Cold fusion would have been nice for him. With slant drilling on that high.
It would have been.
But it was not to be. I guess we should move on.
Should be.